But what I'm trying to get across is this. The White House basically is trying to tell everybody that they had nothing to do with it. That's what they're trying to say. All right? Now, you can't link it to President Obama. There's no evidence that links it to him at this point. As we talked with Mr. Woodward, there may be, but there isn't now. However, you can say to the White House, hold it. Until you tell me about each and every one of those meetings, I'm not believing you. I'm not believing you because, as you well know, every meeting is logged.
Right.
Every time that Schulman went in, they knew where he was going and who he spoke
look,
to.
He shouldn't have been there that many times. This is an independent agency, and being too close to the White House is a problem for the IRS.
Why do you think he was here? We'll speculate a little bit.
I don't know.
Why do you have no idea why he was there?
Look, the implementation of Obamacare, but he shouldn't have been there. They should have had the Assistant Secretary for Tax Policy at Treasury, the policy person, there to talk about those policy questions.
Not the enforcement.
Not the enforcement guy.
Right. But they didn't even have that Secretary of Health and Human Services in there. And she's in charge of Obamacare.
I will say this. She may have been there more than the log show because a cabinet official can sort of come in and out.
It wasn't close.
Yeah. It wasn't close. Was not close.
Right. That's
which makes me very suspicious. Either this guy really wanted to be in the White House all the time, which is very problematic. I want to be at the White House all the time.
But they still wouldn't have let him in. You know how Barack Obama is. He doesn't want to meet with anybody.
Or he had a pal there who let him in all the time. I don't know. But here's the deal. It is troubling, and this is one of the questions that needs to be answered. I do have a disagreement with you about one thing. We can't and will probably not find any evidence that President Obama picked up the telephone and called Schulman and said, go do this, or called Lois Lerner. But I do hold the president responsible for setting the tone. The head of any organization sets the tone. And the president has errors of omission and commission. The commission is that he's running around in 2010 making speeches in which he is attacking Tea Party groups. In fact, at one point calling them teabaggers, and at another point, it's a series of speeches saying that the groups like this represent, quote, a threat to democracy. That's setting the wrong tone. The act of commission is when this stuff popped up in 2010, if he really was exercised about it, he or the chief of staff should have called Secretary of Treasury Geithner and said, get the undersecretary to look into this. This would be wrong if it's being done, and if it's being done, stop it and make certain it doesn't happen, that people are punished for having done it. He did neither of those. He didn't do that.
But I want to know what about these meetings, and the White House knows. See, this is, I'm a simple man. You're complicated. You're Scandinavian. They're very complicated.
We look at our shoes a lot.
I am a simple man. The White House knows why this man was there. Just tell us.
Bet you a dime to a dollar that when the request is made, as it will be made by Congress for them to delineate what those meetings were about, that the White House is going to exert executive privilege and say
then it becomes a bigger deal than it is now. Karl Rove.